Good morning, everyone. Let's give it a few moments so that everyone can realize I'm live. Something new with the hair. It wasn't deliberate. Just a few more minutes. Just a few more minutes. I need more coming to the room. As you enter the space, please say hello. You know how you was raised. When you enter the room, you greet everybody in the room. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Well, good morning. This is this morning's edition of the LT&A Chatter Project. I'm Luciana Turner. I'm your government contracting compliance expert and government contracting strategist. I am a little thrown off this morning, but that's okay. We're going to press through anyhow. This edition of the Chatter Project, we're going to be discussing two FAR updates that are due to take effect in the government and how small businesses can take advantage of what's going on and what they should be looking out for in the coming days, weeks, and months of this initiative. We also need to be, we're also going to discuss a little bit about the strategies small businesses need to take advantage of business in the government space. But I want to start off this morning a little bit with introduction of who I am. I'm Luciana, the compliance specialist, particularly since 2004, roughly 17 years experience working with one of the top five government contractors. My experience is pretty in agencies as well. I specialize in compliance, which is just another way of saying ensuring that you as the contractor are doing what you say you're doing in with regards to what the contract terms are, the CAS, and what a Department of Labor and any other industry rules and regulations which apply to your particular field. And if you do not know what foreign CAS is, please get on my mailing list. We discuss that as well in some of my master classes. One of the things actually in a clubhouse room yesterday, and I wanted to bring about this point before we really got started. And I made this statement about small business do not take advantage of the small business liaison offices. Each government agency has what is referred to as a small business liaison's office. And that office basically their role and responsibility is to help the small businesses navigate working with that particular agency in contracting. They also introduce the small businesses to the contracting officer, program managers, and they also sit in when the proposals are being read so that they can somewhat not, I don't want to use the term advocate. However, if they are familiar with you, if they have engaged with you, they can then speak up on behalf of the fact that they have met with you and what report, if any, they have formed with you and what form, if any, they feel you would be as a contractor. And I further stated that small businesses do not take advantage of this office. Far too often, small businesses rely strictly upon attending work events and just blind that are available within the contracting space. However, they do not take advantage of these. And what I'm going to say, you're not going to hear too often. Certifications in the government will not guarantee, they do not guarantee, and they will not guarantee you a contract. There is no such thing, and I know this is a popular myth in contracting, and I wish people would stop saying it. I wish people would stop putting it. But there's absolutely no such thing as because you are certified, your contract. It does not exist. That is not how government contracts operate. That is not how government contracts work at all. It's a myth that exists, never got started. I really wish that people would stop it. All certifications do is make you eligible for certain set asides. It also kind of gives you a leg up because to small businesses to award subcontracts to small businesses. Oftentimes, small businesses want these awards, but they haven't done the work to become a power partner. So they may win the award contractor the prior to leave it to them that they were used to win that award than just getting certified. And I'm taking a lot of time with that this morning because I want to dispel that myth. Because it is a myth in government contracting that a certification is all you need. You need to be contract ready. And if you are not contract ready, you will fail in the performance of your contract. And the one thing the government does not like is to have a contractor that cannot perform. Because then they either, if you're the prime, have to rebid or reallocate the work if there's multiple primes. Or if you are the prime, you have to either take on the work that you subcontracted out, which you may or may not have to rearrange your workforce to do, or you then have to rebid out to another subcontracting company. And we're not going to talk about fair equitability, but it takes away from the prime's ability to perform the work that they were planning to work. And it takes away from their strategic plan because their strategic plan said that they were subcontracting that work out and they were going to focus their workforce in another direction. Now they have to then in turn readjust their plan at the last minute. Not that they can't, because small businesses are great for turning on the dime, but larger entities have a hard time doing that. So they have to turn on a dime and make an adjustment because you are not contract ready. So I say all that to say that small businesses need to become contract ready and not depend upon certifications and the fact that they are small and there are contracting goals to get a contract. There is more to government contracting than just writing a proposal. There's more to government contracting than identifying the proper NACE codes and writing, and knowing who your stakeholder is. All of those things are important, but are you contract ready? We need to be dialed in and tuned in to know what is going on in the industry. We need to be dialed in and tuned in to know what it is that is going to come down the pipe to affect you as a small business so that you can properly plan and budget. Right, quite frankly, with the modernization going on in IT within the government, small businesses need to be prepared to up level their security systems. Do you have a plan in place for that? This is not just getting Microsoft, the latest Microsoft, or buying Norton off the shelf. This is There's more to it than that. There's going to be new requirements for reporting critical incidents. Is your system ready to even record those incidents? Do you even know how many people have tried to invade your system? These are the things small businesses should be aware of and should have knowledge of. Do you? Do you have knowledge of these things? Are you capable of tracking these things? And are you aware of these things? And awareness is where we need to start at, let alone the tracking and the reporting. Do you have a strategic plan in place that will cover the cost and the recuperation of that cost? Do you even know how to recuperate those costs? These are the conversations in addition to proposal writing, identifying your ideal audience, that need to be held in the contracting space. But once again, there's a tunnel vision going on in the contracting world that we need to dispel, and we need to excuse me, a little tongue tied this morning. So with that said, let's move on. Whew. So the FAR clause on contracting or fairness in contracting to small businesses is to address the fact that small businesses are receiving awards, but they're not actually invoicing against the awards. Now, speaking from experience, and I touched on it before, and I'm going to touch on it again, there is a pushback from the larger primes in regards to this FAR clause. So you're going to see a lot more as in the way of reporting, and what is required as documentation for completion. Because this FAR clause is going to push and is going to say, okay, you awarded this contract to this subcontract to this company, but you're not utilizing them. They're going to have to justify not using it now. So now you're going to see a lot more documentation to justify not using. So small businesses are really going to have to be on their game in this regard. You're going to see a lot more stepping up to the plate, or a need to do so. Now that FAR rule goes into place on September 10th. So are you prepared to be to mitigate or to perform at a high level? Not so much that FAR clause affects you, but to truly demonstrate that you have the capability and awareness to perform at the level that that contracting officer is expecting you to perform. You know, a badly awarded contract is costly. And I'm not saying that the government and their primes don't do shady things, because we know they do. But this FAR clause and this going into effect is to protect small businesses. However, it will also protect the prime and the contracting officers that have to switch out because the small business is not living up to their obligations. It is what it is, and it does what it does. You know, I was going to discuss a little more about the zero trust, but quite frankly, I'm not prepared to do it this morning. So I will have to come back with that a little later. And I'm going to close out this morning's session with a reminder that the Chatter Project new time will be 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It was a last minute change, but I had to make that change. So we're going to go live 8:30 in the morning. Each morning, we're going to pick up tomorrow morning with a deep discussion on the FAR clauses and the effects that they have on small businesses. This Friday, I'm going to do a master class addressing a survey that I sent out to my mailing list on the top 3 things that government contractors should be aware. And I'm doing it exclusive to my YouTube channel. I'm not even going to go live on Facebook. I'm going to do it exclusive to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to close this out, and I hope to see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Have a great day.